Go King, go King, the Go King.
I want to thank you for paying homage to the great Michael Jordan today by wearing that goat mask. I appreciate that very much because he deserves it today. Because everybody was reminded last night just how great he is.
Yeah, you saw it on full display. Finals MVP.
Yeah, it was an embarrassment.
Don't do that, Skip. Skip, don't do that.
Let's talk about
Skip,
it.
no, I don't want to. Skip, can I have a moment? I mean, you keep rushing me in my moment. You wasn't rushing Friday night when you was talking and tweeting out on Storm.
How do you know what I was
Don't
tweeting?
worry about it. Hear ye, come one, come all.
Shannon.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulate me on.
I'm saying I'm being real. I'm being authentic. Congratulations. Accept it.
Okay.
You're shocked because you know you don't deserve it.
I do deserve it. Skip, how do I look? Do I look like am I worthy of this or the king?
Not on this show.
How you doing? You good? You good?
Yeah, I'm great.
He was simply great. There's no other way around it. There's no other way to describe it. He was magnificent. This was a virtuoso performance for the entirety of the playoffs. In year 17, his 10th finals, he averaged 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists.
Oh, God.
For the entire,
How did he come up short?
For the entire, because he doesn't
He
stat
tried.
pass. Because he doesn't stat
He
pass.
played the whole fourth quarter last night. He was trying to get that, get it up to the 10.
And guess what, Skip? Guess what? He got November. He got December. He got plenty of time. He's made that abundantly clear. Now, this is what he was for these 6 games. 30, 12, 8.5 on 59% shooting, 40% from the three-point line. Is that good, Skip? That is magnificent. Players to lead their team in points, rebounds, and assists in the finals. LeBron James has done it 7 times. Tim Duncan has done it once, Magic once, Jimmy Butler once. Skip,
Jimmy
really?
Butler.
Let that sink
How
in.
did he get in that conversation?
That lets you know to lead your team in rebounds, assists, and points, considering there are bigs on the other team, like Magic had to worry about Kareem. And all these other guys have had bigs. But he says, you know what? Everything, I got this. And last night, now I hate that Friday's night performance was squandered, but you saw from the opening tip, it wasn't going to be that type of night for the Heat. The Heat was done. You and I both knew that Jimmy Butler was not going to be able to replicate what he did Friday.
No.
And we knew Duncan Robinson wasn't going to be able to replicate what he did.
Jimmy Butler's tank was empty last night.
He was done. He was done. Skip, he averaged 25, 10 in the finals 6 times. Everyone else has done it 5 times in history. Skip, they go down to the bubble, and LeBron James made it abundantly clear that he was going down there for one purpose and one purpose only. And you cannot fault LeBron and the Lakers because they were able to maintain focus, and other teams somehow lost their focus or started to fall by the wayside. Skip, and you know, having covered the games for over 40 years, so it's a long, arduous process. And sometimes guys start to fall by and guys get in trouble and guys get this and guys get that, and it costs their team. They were able to go down there, stay focused. It's not their fault that the Clippers couldn't remain focused. It's not their fault that Giannis couldn't get over the hump. It's not their fault. LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and this was a total team win. And guess what, Skip? This is the first of many, because we're going to make some roster changes next year, and we're going to be right back.
Oh, you're going to win many more? Did you just predict?
This is the first of many, which means they will get more than one. This is not the only one. Do you understand
Why
that?
don't you go ahead and give the speech? Not 5, not 6, not 7. Go ahead. Go up to 8 or 9.
How about this here? Not one. Not one. More than one.
Is that your new microphone?
Yeah,
I like that. Your scepter.
Yep.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn. It's your turn.
Thank you. Shannon Sharpe.
Yes.
I have news for you. I am sorry to inform you, these championship rings should be made of cubic zirconia.
No, they shouldn't.
Yes. And on the inside of these rings should be a little inscription with an asterisk. Avoided Clippers. You avoided the one team that would have knocked you off. You avoided the team that the odds makers had as the favorites going into these pandemic playoffs. The one team that could have gotten you fell on its face because it was looking ahead to you.
How's that the Lakers' fault, though?
It's not. It was just meant to be. You got all the way to the finals, And you wind up facing a team that was an epic mismatch for you. I'm sorry, it just was. I enjoyed the Heat's run through the East. They were something. I'd never seen anything quite like it.
Yeah.
But when they ran into you, you had by far the two best players on the floor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the odds makers said you were a prohibitive favorite. And in game one, you went on a 77-32 run and you exposed the Heat for everything they weren't.
Right.
They're just too little. Their starting center is 6 feet 9 inches tall. And Bam got hurt in game one, and he was never quite the same thereafter. He missed a game, then he came back and tried to play.
He played well last night, though.
He did okay, but he couldn't.
It was too little, too late.
He couldn't defend. And speaking of too little, too late, speaking of little, your starting point guard, this guy named LeBron, is as tall as Bam and much bigger and stronger to me, much more physically developed than Bam is at his very young age. It's LeBron James at 6'9" versus Bam at 6'9". And remember, the Heat's leading scorer through the playoffs was Goran Dragic, and he gets hurt, and God bless him, he tried to tough it out and come back last night. It was sort of Alex Smith-like, if you will. Yeah. And he tried, and he was a shell of himself. But they wanted him because they loved him, and he's Jimmy's best buddy.
And they knew it was over.
And they knew it was over, so they said, let's just see what would happen. Maybe he'll give us a little kickstart inspiration, but he couldn't, and it's no surprise. So you got to play the 5th seed in the East. You got to play a team that the odds makers had in the preseason 75-1 to even get to the finals, making them the longest odds team to make an NBA Finals in the last 30 years since the stat was even kept. You got to play a team that was down 2 of its best players and had to start and play high minutes. 3 rookies, 3, including Tyler Hero, who was the youngest player ever to play in an NBA Finals. And you step back and look at this. Well, it took 2 classic, all-time masterpiece aberration games from Jimmy Butler for them to steal 2 games. I don't know how he did it, but he went for 40 the first night and 35 the next time, which was last Friday night. And I said, where did that come from? Because he's a 20-point-a-game average scorer. And what did he do in the other 4 finals games? He averaged 21 points. And last night he had 12 points because, as we just talked about, he was done. He was cooked psychologically, physically. He'd given all he could.
What, he played Friday, all but 40 seconds? That's asking a lot.
Okay, it's just too much. So I look back at all the breaks that you got. I promise you the pandemic, as awful as it has been for all of us, including the Lakers, it was a huge break for your man LeBron. He was nearing the end of his 17th year. He'd been on a great run right up to the edge of the quarantine and the pandemic. And then he got almost 5 months off to heal up, rest up, and revitalize.
Let me ask you this. From what you saw leading up to the pandemic, did it look like he was slowing down or picking up steam?
He was picking up steam, but I dreaded, for his sake, trying to close out the season on that pace, trying to win an MVP at age 35.
I told you that wasn't our focus.
Okay.
You know what our focus was. You know what it was.
Okay, but he wanted that badly. You know he wanted.
We wanted it with more.
Okay, you wanted the MVP regular season, and you wanted the MVP.
It would have been nice to get both, no question.
Okay, so your arch rival, who shares the Staples Center but lives in the basement, your Clippers, they needed reps, R-E-P-S reps, because they had brand new chemistry, and they were just starting to click before the pandemic hit also.
Well, from what I've been hearing, that wasn't going to help. They had more chemistry problems than reps.
Okay.
What they had couldn't be fixed on the court.
Okay, but you needed rest, R-E-S-T. They needed reps. You got it. They didn't. All of a sudden, LeBron could just kick back and relax and then take his team to what was like an AAU bubble, where it's all basketball all the time. There's no distractions, and LeBron is tough enough mentally as a team leader to keep them focused.
That's not what I've been told. The reason, but here's the problem that I have with what you just said. You said the Clippers were going to win the title because they were the more mentally tough team. Now, everybody knew at the beginning of the season that the Lakers had 2 of the top 5 players, LeBron and AD, but that didn't matter because they were weak, and people kept saying, Charles Barkley and others said, AD doesn't have that dog. LeBron is mentally weak. Now they go down to the bubble. Skip, it was so easy to be in the bubble. Why was everybody else cracking when they were thriving?
Because LeBron understood he had a great opening to go, if I may say, steal a ring. It's not stealing. It's just the opportunity was golden. It's as golden as the gold on your robe or whatever this is.
Cloak.
Right? Cloak. Your cloak.
Yes.
And LeBron seized a golden moment. He said, let's max this out. Let's stay focused here. Half the Clippers didn't even want to go to the bubble.
So why,
you know it and I know it.
So why didn't they max it out? They had the same opportunity.
Okay, maybe they lacked leadership. They didn't have a LeBron James because Kawhi's not that guy. I thought Doc could keep them together, but he couldn't keep them together, and because of that, he lost his job.
What you fail to realize, Skip, is that Doc wasn't the problem. They had no problem with chemistry. They had no problem with leadership until they brought those two outsiders in that locker room. Kawhi Leonard would rather play with Paul George and Pat Bev than AD and LeBron. And look what he got. I wonder if he watched that game last night from his palatial estate down in San Diego. Did he enjoy watching us celebrate?
He probably watched and laughed. That's what he did. He LOL'd the whole game because it was so embarrassing how much better your team was than the poor team that was put up against them.
You know what's embarrassing, Skip? They had a 3-1 lead and was up 19 and 16 points and couldn't finish
and
off
12.
And could not finish off the Nuggets. That's what's embarrassing.
Looking ahead, we got them, and you don't got them.
And Kawhi had 2 points in the second half and went over in the fourth quarter. That's what's embarrassing.
Speaking of the fourth quarter, what was embarrassing to me last night is I was ashamed of your man, LeBron James. It had to end like this.
Yep.
They were up 32 in the second half. They were up 29 going to the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And your man should have taken a bow and said, thank you very much. We got this. I'm out.
Nope.
He should have dropped the mic after 3 quarters. But what did he do? He kept on keeping on. He was playing bully ball all night because nobody on that team can stop him from getting to the rim. And why Jimmy Butler kept insisting on, I got him. At least let Iggy take him for a while.
Iggy was done.
At least let Jay Crowder try a little bit. Jimmy Butler was done, but no, he's got to tough it out. He's got to show that he could go 2 ways. He can take LeBron on offense and take him on defense. And instead, it was a joke of a parade to the basket. The parade started last night, and I was ashamed for your man, LeBron, because
what you ashamed for?
He is hot dogging, he is showboating, he is front running, and he is just piling up the points.
Skip, for 15 years, your guy kept his tongue out of his mouth.
Yeah, but he didn't do this.
No, hold on. He dunking on people and standing in their face.
Okay, how about this with 4 minutes to go, if we could see this? Your man dunks and slaps the backboard. You want to talk about rubbing it in? He slaps the backboard and gets a technical foul as he hangs on the rim. Good. Way to go. Get him out, Frank.
No.
Where's Frankie V? Where's Frankie V? Get him out. Get him out. You cannot taunt this team like that.
Yes,
they deserve better.
No, they don't.
Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra deserve better than that. They deserve more respect.
You told me
more respect.
You told me at the beginning of the series that there was bad blood between LeBron James and Pat Riley.
Okay.
So if there's bad blood, let it spill.
So
there will be blood.
So then what's he do with it's like 2:29 left?
What did he do then?
Try this one out. Try this one.
What did he do, Skip?
He pulls up and takes a 30-foot three.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he make it?
And they're up 20 at this point, and he just says, watch this. And he pulls up. Look at this. This is a logo three. I'm going to logo three. I'm going to rub it in with a logo three.
Yeah.
How aren't you ashamed of that?
No, I am not ashamed.
You should be ashamed of that, and he should be ashamed.
No.
That's no way to end that game.
That is the exact way to end it.
And then finally, I'm sorry. What left me the coldest was Friday night, because at the end of that game, LeBron was on his way to playing, in my view, his greatest finals game ever, because he was, I predicted at the end of Undisputed on Friday, he would score 38. He had 40.
40.
They wore their Mamba jerseys. You have to validate them. You have to bring it home. So he drives the ball, if we could see this, at the end of the game, and he should just power it right up through Jimmy Butler and get to the free throw line because he's got a hot hand. He's got to take this shot. This is his shot. This is his time.
Really, Skip?
Yep, you've got to take that shot.
4 guys, and
You've
the guy wide
got to take
open.
that shot, and he kicks it back to Danny Green, the poor scapegoat that Danny Green has always been in his career. Scapegoat in San Antonio and a scapegoat here. And he misses, and you know the rest of the story. They get the offensive rebound. Markieff ends up lobbing it completely out of bounds.
Yeah.
That could have put a huge exclamation point. I would have given him a standing ovation if he had gone to the free throw line and made those 2 free throws.
Nope. See, the thing is that everybody that was taking shots at LeBron at the beginning of the season, now that they can't find anything, they're saying, well, LeBron James, I can live with you taking that shot if you miss it. Well, you live with the fact that he passed it and they missed it. You don't, Skip, you don't base the decision on after you know the outcome saying that was the wrong decision, because there are a lot of armchair quarterbacks, a lot of Monday morning quarterbacks that get an opportunity to second guess a head coach.
Okay, I first guessed it on Twitter, and you can look at my timeline. I said, this is his night. This is his game to win. He has to slam the door shut. He's going to hit a walk-off or get to the free throw line.
But if you notice LeBron, most of his walk-offs coming what? He's going the opposite way. You see the shot that he hit in Chicago? It was on the left-hand side. You see the one he hit at Indy. The one he hit against Orlando is going left. The kiss off the bank is against Toronto.
So you're saying he has a weakness?
No, Skip, everybody has a sweet spot in which they like to get to. At the end of the day, it does not matter. You would have a valid point had they lost this series.
You know, it is interesting. Jordan once said, it was back in 2014, he said, if I were guarding LeBron, I'd just make him go right all day.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a lot easier said than done. Trust me. Michael Jordan could not guard LeBron James. He couldn't even guard old Magic. Remember, Magic put a triple-double on him on game 1, and they had to put Scottie Pippen, who picked him up 94 feet. So if you think Michael Jordan can stop LeBron from going anywhere without security, you're sadly mistaken.
Shannon, he would have terrorized him.
No, he
would have trash-talked him into oblivion. He would have just cut him up and spit him out.
Whatever. Skip, this is what I know. We just spit out 4 rings with 3 different teams.
I want to congratulate you. You are 4-6 in the finals now. You have now currently lost as many finals as Jordan won without losing a single one. Way to go.
About to be 5-6.
4-6 versus 6-0.
About to be 5-6.
About to be? Is there a finals tomorrow?
2021.
Oh, really?
Let me ask you a question, though, Skip. Can I ask you a question? If Michael Jordan played 15 years, he was 6-0. What happened those other 9 years? Did they not play the finals in those years?
Well, 2 of those years he got sent home.
I don't know what happened, Skip. I don't know what happened to him.
Without that, he would have won 8 straight. You like that?
No, he wouldn't. Skip. See, that's easy to say.
No,
that's easy to say.
It's just about as factual as you could get.
No.
He owned the whole game. LeBron does not own basketball.
Let me ask you a question. In 1980, what was the line? How much did you think bettors were betting that the Soviets would crush the little Americans?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah. So you, at a sporting event, you can't say what, because Skip, everybody knows you're a sports.
Wait, it got called off. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
Which one?
No, Skip.
Which one?
When we beat the brakes off.
Oh, you mean the ice hockey?
Yeah.
I was there at Lake Placid. I was sitting in the front row.
Yeah. Skip, you know in sports, you're a sprained ankle, a twisted knee, or a fluke from losing.
You were almost a fluke from losing on Friday night. For a second, I thought AD was in big trouble. But he does tend to get a little melodramatic when he goes down with his injuries, and that was just melodrama. He was just fine.
Skip, look, I won't. Did you hear what my man said last night? He said Rob Pelinka wants his respect.
I heard
Frank
this.
Vogel wants his respect. He said Jeannie wants her respect. Laker Nation want their respect.
And
I want my damn respect.
Damn respect.
Give it to him.
You know, as soon as he said that, I sat back, having covered Jordan all those years, and I thought, I could have never imagined Michael Jordan saying to the media, I want my damn respect.
Because they gave it to him.
He had it.
Because they gave
it.
They gave Michael Jordan respect when he didn't win anything. But I got a surprise for you. I got a surprise for you. Good. In the show. Hear ye, come one, come all. The king is having a royal ball. And if you can rap so dress fresh, you might win a championship with your Royal Highness. I'm going to love my day. This is my day.
Did you write that?
No.
It doesn't rhyme.
Yeah, don't worry. It don't need to rhyme. Skip Bayless, I'm going to enjoy this week, and you cannot steal my thunder. I'm coming out here every day with something. You know what? Ain't no telling what my...
You know what? Speaking of the Thunder, that reminds me, Kevin Durant didn't play in these five. He could have. He was cleared to play. Kyrie was cleared to play. What if they both had played with that Brooklyn team? You think you would have been a pushover, a cakewalk over them in the finals?
The same thing would have happened.
No, I don't think so.
But guess what, Skip? Guess what? They get their opportunity next year.
Yes, they will.
They get their opportunity next year.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people are coming back with their opportunity.
Hey, if you don't mind
Those two guys in Golden State are coming back. They're going to have something to say about this.
If you don't mind me asking, who is the overwhelming, the prohibitive favorite from Fox Bet to all these other gambling sites? Who is the prohibitive? I think we something like 15-4.
You're talking about, Kawhi's team is your favorite.
They're way down. They're way. Hey, Skip Bayless, they about to break that thing up.
Really?
They about to break that thing up like the Jackson 5.
Congratulations, Shannon. I got something for you later also.
Let this sink in for a second. Kawhi Leonard chose Paul George and Patrick Beverly over AD and LeBron.
He did. He said, I want to compete against him instead of play with him.
Okay, then.
And he didn't get to.
He
didn't get to.
Why not? Did they forfeit the season?
Looking ahead.
What did he?
Cubic zirconia. Thank you.
All right. We
How'd that
will
look, Skip?
continue to talk about the championship all day. Shannon will have his moment. We have Snoop stopping by as well. And then apparently a mystery guest. I don't know. Something Shannon's doing. Skip.
Yeah, I got a guess for you.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.